Hi, this is Henry Cobb, and once again we have the Fantasy Trip exercises. And this week, which is February 22nd, 2020, we'll be exploring the Fantasy Trip Labyrinths journal. Now, while the Fantasy Trip hexes come with an interesting set of cards here, it's interesting cards that come with its own instructions that talk about both deliberate and random ways of using it. The Labyrinth's journal itself has no particular instructions. It's simply each of the Labyrinth cards here and then notes underneath. So here's two ways I think these could be used. Now, the first is when the company shows up and you need to game master a game, you don't have a labyrinth ready, well, you can just use these to randomly generate one. What you do is you'd go in and you would randomly draw cards. So you say, here's the first card. That's all right. So yeah, and that would be, so it would be card number 4 here, and it'd be the entrance. So we just predetermined a feature here, which is there will be a stairway in the middle that goes up to the outside. So, and let's have that, and yeah, that looks like a good orientation to start with. All right, and then what we'd go here is go to the journal, and we'd go here to 4, and we'd say, yeah, this is the entrance, and we'd put like a letter A here, and then underneath here we'd say A, stairs up to the outside. And then here at the bottom would be the connection to the next hex. And we don't know what that is yet, so we randomly draw another card. Aha! All right, that's interesting. How can this fit in? So, like that. All right, and so we'd say, now we say that's going to connect to 14 is going to connect to 4 in that way. So what we do here is at 4 in the journal, we'd say we'd put the number 14 here at the bottom, and then for 14 we'd say, let's see, which is it? Right here would be 4, and then we'll roll for a feature. So we can use the Labyrinth card instructions to get a basic feature. 2 is there's a door. So there will be a door here. We'll put the door between 14 and 4. So perhaps right here. So if we put the door between that, which would mean that so we got 4 mega hexes here. As we lay this out, it'd be 4 mega hexes, and then these would continue on. Like that. So we have the tactical situation here. We say, let's put a door at this spot right here, between these, where these two connect. And so we'd come here in 14, and we would say that right here would be a door. So we'd mark up, we'd put like a letter A there, say a door. And now let's see what the door features has. 6, the ruins of a door. So there used to be a door there, but there's just scattered debris. And now the next, so we consider this to be one room here in the entranceway, and then there's another room here. So then we can use the drop table here. So what I find best with the drop table is I roll a whole bunch of dice at once, but I have one, like the purple one, that's of a different color, and then that gives me a more random table for it to show up on. And that doesn't give me any table at all. Yeah, I never get this drop table to work properly, because it always goes into a corner where there's nothing there. The GM is rolling lots of dice. The players are very nervous, but it's not doing much in the way of any good. There we go. All right. Finally, unoccupied chamber with a destroyed room. Well, there's a destroyed door, so there's a destroyed room. So that means on a 1, we can draw a treasure card here for this destroyed type of room. Nope. No treasure. So we could scatter random debris in here, and we would note, again, so that we noted here that there'd be random debris. And then for the next, as the party moves on to the next room, we draw another random labyrinth card. All right, well that's not very exciting. If we got 3 here, it wouldn't go anywhere, and that would terminate the dungeon way too early. So we go here, and we shuffle and get out another random one. Yeah, we want something that's branching out here because the dungeon is just starting, and we want something that will continue on to at least another side. Alright, Alright, so here we go, another lengthy corridor, and so that'll connect like that, and that'll be card number 12. So we go here and mark in 14 that, it goes 4 there, and it goes 12 there, with the destroyed door noted there, and then 12 is going to mark, let's see, here is 14 on 12, and then let's see if there's a feature here in this room. One, there's a stair or shaft to another level. All right, well, and so there'd be a level change table we'd roll against. And a 6 is a shaft down. So we pick a random spot here on 12 to note the shaft down. And let's see if I can make this drop table work. No, I can never. It always goes to the corners where there's nothing marked. I have to find. All right, here we go. On this new level, it's a wooden ladder lays down. So there's a shaft with a wooden ladder from the new level table here. So they kind of agree on that. So then we'd have over here on this next one, and so what we do is we leave out the labyrinth hex cards here as the map for the players. We'd use the journal here to mark out the features of the various places. And so that way, the next session, when they come back to the same dungeon, you get all the stuff they remember. Now, the other way of using this is deliberate, which means you actually look at the cards. And so, now what I'm thinking is a labyrinth that's based around a volcano. So it's got a central vent that's going to come down here, and then it's going to spread out. There's going to be lava tubes, so these are going to go out into the surrounding territory. So at the very topmost level, I want something that maybe is at the edge of the vent. So the vent would be like the middle 3 hexes. So it'll give me something that'll touch on that. All right. Yeah, that might work. So here we go. We'll take card number 33 as being the topmost level. And so here's, this would be the room where the dragon lair is. We'd mark a central vent here, and then that would go up to the surface where the dragon would land here, and, lots of treasure. And then there'd be stairs and such down the next level down. And eventually you get down to the bottom, so several levels down, you get down to the bottom, and then you'd have here branching out lava tubes. Let's see, what's the best? Oh yeah, there you go. Branching out lava tubes, and they go out in all directions. from your central chamber. And these would have, they might have carved out some rooms here. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. And so you design out a very deliberate dungeon. And again, you go here to the journal, and you say, well, gee, all right, card number 33 is going to be the little one there at the top. And so you'd mark, a top level, and then you'd say, well, here's a central shaft, and you'd put the letters there, and then you'd indicate it there, and you'd just say, here's where the dragon lands, here's where the treasure is, here's, the other features of that particular dragon's lair, and then you have the goblins here who are at the lower levels and are working for the dragon and have some sort of business association. And so that's the way I see it, that you could use this journal here to record a random dungeon and also to record a more deliberate sort of design that's very easy, because you can look here at the cards. It'll give you ideas and say, all right, gee, how would this work out? Like that. Aha, two of the tunnels will join there. And that's just a loop off the main area. And so this will give you the concepts to very quickly design your deliberate dungeon. And again, you can place these out, as the players explore them, you can place these out on the table and then come in with the actual hexes here for the tactical situation, and then get back to that very quickly because you've got it all recorded out here in the journal, how this all connects up. And so that's my ideas on it. Why don't you send me yours? I'm hcobb at hcobb.com and or henry.cobb at gmail.com, and I'll get back to you next week. Thank you.